This is Margaret Ann Windsor, my real name, and I still have to use Peggy Ann Childers, Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married Childers. I put up YouTubes, and I put several up today. I put up about a list of just a few of the 300, but I don't know how many there are in the world, Illuminati members. This was a list of the top in the Illuminati officials, they would say. And I think it's legit. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is. Anyway, Illuminati Freemasons, they're the ones, and this is part of my family, the Windsors, that took down my father with character assassination in 1936 December. He was married to my mom, and I know I'm being redundant, but people would not know what I'm talking about if they picked it up and hadn't seen other videos. Uh, my father was married to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor. She was Queen of England and should have always remained because my father was taken down with character assassination. He should always be king. Anyway, when he left, my mom, they were married in the Church of England. I was christened. I know that. I was born in 39. And Uncle George, I shouldn't call him Uncle, but so that you know who he is, brother to my father, the illegal George VI, Elizabeth's father, helped in my kidnapping with Roosevelt. My God, it gets to be such a horrible thing. President Roosevelt and Eleanor and their son John later became involved in my kidnapping. Roosevelt had appointed JFK, his father, Joe, ambassador to England in 1936. Listen to the dates. And they kicked him out in 46. JFK flew in to London during 39, the year I was born, and kidnapped in 41. And he helped in my kidnapping, and he even went before Parliament and spoke. Can you get this? Anyway, I'm not going to say his end to the royal family again, the Kennedys, but it was the end. How they got in was Lee Radziwill, Jackie's sister, married Radziwill, and he was, I suppose they said he was a prince. I'm not sure he was. But anyway, that's the end there to the royal family, and thus part of all this that happened, my kidnapping and what happened to my children and me here, and my father the takedown. By the way, he always touted being Irish, the clan. Well, my mom was O'Keefe. My mom was Irish. She sure the heck did not deserve what you all did to her, me, or anybody. The Illuminati is mafia. They're the Freemasons. And in this that I Googled this morning, there's a video that goes with it, and I know a lot that I'm not sure part of that video was right. I didn't hear it all. But the point is that the people he put up as being members, I've seen some of it before, and it was the top 300. Of course, I couldn't get it written down and all that, but I did get enough down. You got people like Warren Buffett's a member. This bunch of people that you would know the names. I don't have them right now. I put them up this morning though. And all the royal family, all my relatives, maybe there's a few out there, but they're all members of this global government, the United Nations. This is what I want to say here. I am Margaret Ann Windsor, heir to the British Crown. My father did the right things. He would not go along with the Illuminati and take orders. And you know what he got in return? I wouldn't have either. And I admire him so much, and that is one, and my mom. And this is one reason, along with my children, it's theirs. If you're going to have the monarchy, please do it right and legal. And my sons, Mark and Scott, are heirs after me. My father he made arrangements, and they were legal papers drawn up when he was forced out because of character assassination in 36. Wouldn't go along with the Illuminati and Freemasons, so that's what they did to him. But anyway, the papers were all legal, and the minute I was born Queen Victoria II. Now then, that posed a problem for the Illuminati because it brought my father back as my power of attorney and guardian. So this would put Uncle John the Sixth and Elizabeth out of the palaces and all the money and everything that they throw around. They can't spend enough. They're illegal, they're traitors and war criminals. So I'm being redundant here, I know, so people can follow it, though, that my father never married Wallace Warfield Simpson. She was American spy. She married a double, an imposter, in 1937. So my father didn't leave being king, and I guess I'm not even sure he abdicated. But anyway, it was taken from him. They lied about him marrying Wallace Simpson, the double imposter. And God knows they kidnapped me. But 37 was the year that George VI, illegal, took that away from my father. And he moved into the castles and all of this. And that's when I have a picture I put up here that was in one of the magazines an attorney gave me, where George and Elizabeth's mother are at a hot dog festival, and it was the year I was born. Probably I had been born at this time. It was 1939. Anyway, the whole thing was rigged. And the bad behavior that this double, there's more than one, did, he was running around saying he was King Edward VIII. And it was such a takedown, people began to believe it. And so I really didn't find out about my kidnapping until I was in a political campaign in 83 to replace a doctor I had written about, Larry McDonald, U.S. Congressman, urologist from Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm leaving out a lot here because I just wanted to say this again. After reading that this morning, and I was told by one of my family members when I went on YouTube and Facebook years ago that he wasn't going to go up against the Windsors. He was a king. And I guess it's so widespread that all of my family seems to be part of this global government. And here is the point, if you're still with me here. The fact that my father was forced out with lies, he remained married to my mom. They were together and still alive. They must have lived a horrible death. Oh my God, why did I say that? Life. It was a death to have your child stolen, your only child, and everything you have in your family is a part of it. But they were still alive in 86. And the O'Keefes suffered a lot too in all of this. Anyway, the Illuminati and my family there, it really got to me. To see all of them, I mean, I think all of them are part of who I'm battling that kidnapped me. Maybe they weren't part of the kidnapping back then. Elizabeth and her father was, and the Rothschilds, all of that, Bilderbergers and all that, Rockefellers. So the catalyst in this, though, that brought about the global government in power that allowed them to reach their power, and they're now the United Nations, and it's a front for the Illuminati. You're into times, if people believe it, and it happens, is Revelations. That's what brought it to be. And I'm so tired of what they've done, and the pain and suffering is unreal, and the injustice to it all. And people love them. They flaunt these jewels and all this, and this makes them a lady or a queen. They're killers, plain and simple. And yes, I know what I'm saying because it's what they are. Maybe all of them aren't. But the catalyst was when they took down my father. He wouldn't go along with the treaties that allowed this to happen, allowed the United States to come in under the guise of saving the UK and Brits from the Germans. It was the Americans that invaded us. You know, they have this special relationship with us. They kidnapped the monarch. How big a relationship can you have? Wow, some friends, right? Churchill was a part of all of it, and some of my family and other officials there in the British government. Thank God for the British government, though. Intelligence, I hope, was on my side. And a lot of the British citizens hung in there. A lot's changed, so I don't know. I hope I get to go home. I hope this is all told, the truth, and I get to see my children again, and I hope they're alive and well. But this whole thing hinged on when they took down my father because he wouldn't go along with them, and the illegal treaties that were signed that allowed them to come into the UK. Once you've taken over the United Kingdom, you pretty much, it's like taking over Washington, D.C. I'm seeing if I have any time left here. It's going up. So they put military bases all of under the UK and everywhere else in Australia. You got an Area 51. You know, the Area 51 in the United States, they claim that wasn't here. Well, they've got one in Australia plus all the other that's, look at the military, American military, spread all over everything, Japan, etc., etc. So that was the catalyst when they took all this over. They at first, you know, part of my family in Denmark and in the Netherlands, I don't know if she objected or not, but they kind of cornered them when they took over the UK and installed Elizabeth and her father. And they are way up in the Illuminati, Elizabeth and that whole family is. So I'm going to stop here. That's what happened. Taking down my dad and kidnapping me allowed the Illuminati, the global government, to come into power as the United Nations, as it stands up there now in New York City. So I'm going to leave it there. I don't know. People say Revelations and biblical. Well, that's where it's at. I hope there's a God. That's the only way I can see any justice in all this and pay back people who should have been imprisoned and pay for their atrocities. I just said it. Look at the list that I put up there. I couldn't get all the 300, and then how many more of the thugs are in power? And I'll leave it at that.